Hey guys, Eric Mashinsky. I'm the editor and founder of the Phenom Crypto Letter. I'm going to do a brief video tonight because some of you don't know me yet, and we'll see very quickly if I can bring value into your life in the crypto space. So this is going to be a long, drawn out video. I'm going to give you actionable ideas that I myself have real money bet on, and I'm going to give you a token idea to investigate where I am down over 60% on my money. I still continue to accumulate this token. This has happened to me before, guys, but guess what? I know how to pick huge winners, especially when these markets turn. Who's going to survive? A lot of this stuff still has to do with analyzing a business and an investment, that the formula behind a token versus, say, a stock. These are a bit different these days, but I've been able to pick through the weeds. Even though, if you want huge returns in crypto, you have to be willing to take large drawdowns. It just doesn't work any other way. And so I'm going to give you one of my best ideas in DePIN with a viable business model that is trading at the lowest prices that it's ever traded. And I think you can make a lot of money buying this token. In the body of the email, I'm going to put a link to, yes, it's Hive Mapper. Honey is the symbol. It's HONEY, trading at just over 2 cents. You can buy this thing. It first came out on Coinbase. When it first came out, I think it was 23. When Honey first traded on a centralized exchange, it went right from nothing to Coinbase. And I believe it spiked into the 30s, like 35 cents, maybe something like that on the first day. And it's been downhill ever since. But now building a base here around 2 cents, I think is where this thing can be accumulated aggressively for long-term investors. You just start stacking it away. The way that I buy these things, or what I would suggest for you to consider is, if you think, all right, I want to put in, whether it's 5 grand or 5 million, Hive Mapper's pretty liquid. I mean, you're trading millions of dollars every 24 hours, and it can spike as well. It's a $93 million market cap, FTV of 209. So you can put, some of you, if you're fund managers, you probably would have a tough time putting more than maybe a million, 2 million bucks in something like this and being able to justify it. But you're going to either get a re-rating and you're going to make a massive return and put points on the board for whatever your portfolio looks like, or you would want it to be a mitigated bet because it's high risk, high reward. But Hive Mapper is interesting because this company, as you'll hear in the video, this mapping business that they have, people love it. And not only that, from the interview, if you believe what the CEO is saying, he's not lying. You've had 4 contracts signed in like the last month, and it took them all of 22, 23. They got 4 contracts. These are institutional contracts about the data. The data they have is valuable, and that is being confirmed by some of these large name customers they're starting to put on the books. Not only the growth, then we see this. If you like DePIN and you don't own, I mean, you look at Helium, which is a very, very clear example of DePIN. It was the orange Wi-Fi hotspots that people love. And I traded the Helium token. I bought 3 Helium Wi-Fi hotspots in 2019. I never fired them up. I certainly should have. I'd have a stack of those tokens, because I was pretty good and pretty early, and there was a massive run in Helium's valuation. But Hive Mapper is similar, and it's a real business. It's a real business that will survive whether they have a token or they don't have a token. But the token actually does add utility to the people that are involved in the street and on their dash cams with collecting this real-time data that is very, very important and very, very appealing for these companies like the Lyfts of the world. I believe they signed on Lyft, I believe. And, so this has got legs here with Hive Mapper. I would strongly suggest, if you like risking money in altcoins where you can get at least 5 times your money, or you could lose 50% of your money on paper. If you're willing to handle risk reward like that, I would investigate Honey Hive Mapper. Now, the people that know about Hive Mapper are our premium members. If you want to get into some serious business, you join the premium membership where we have a model portfolio and it's all broken down in terms of what kind of large cap allocations I have. And then these micro cap tokens where we've got some bad stuff in there. When I say bad, I mean good. In fact, during this really ruthless bear market in alts, which I'm very aware of, and I think now is a wonderful time to be putting money consistently and diligently to work in the altcoins. But we had a spike during the last, this just really started early this year, where Saros, Saros, it's built on Solana. I picked this in our model portfolio late last August, so it hasn't even been 10 months. And we are up, let's see, at 15 cents, it was up 100x, 100x. So then now going up into the 20-cent range, I think you're looking at 130x, something like that. Let me tell you something. If you put a little bit of money into 10 altcoins, the same amount, and you get one that does this, you can have 5 of them go to zero, and you're still going to have world-class returns. But you have to approach this shit like a professional investor would. Don't be a schmuck. Don't be moving into these markets based on emotion. When everybody's happy and everybody's flying in because everybody's calling about Bitcoin because it's $140,000. Oh my God, I got to get Bitcoin. I had this happen at every top of every market. When I get calls from my friends from high school, and they're like, what was that thing that you told me to download a wallet to buy Bitcoin for? I can tell interim pops. That's what happens. Certainly. It happened the first time we ran over 100,000 and then came back into the 90s. I was getting these phone calls, and I ended up taking some shorter term trading money totally off the table, because these are the signs that I read into in addition to the technical charting, which is just a passion of mine, but also looking at the fundamentals of the businesses behind the tokens. Do you know how to do that? Do you know how to pick these things that are going to be, at least have a really good shot of being viable? So that's what I've got for you tonight. The other thing that I've got for those of you that are high net worth individuals or fund managers, I just wanted to let you know this article on CoinDesk. It's quoting Chris Sullivan from Hyperion Decimus. He's a guy that I've gotten to know in the last 4 years, probably over 4 years. And I met him through the Real Vision platform. I became a limited partner in his fund, Libertas Fund, which is a crypto fund. It's a long fund. That it's a multi-strategy fund, and their performance this year has been phenomenal against the price of Bitcoin. And these guys are pros, though I like some of the way that they think, the way that they've built their algorithms and put in their risk management system. I don't really have to worry with these guys about, am I going to be able to get my money? They're pretty prudent as it pertains to knowing what you have, cold storage and in certain amounts of these holdings, as well as institutional custody with insurance. That stuff's covered. They're very professional, and they come from Morgan Stanley on Wall Street in terms of trading in TradFi. And a lot of the TradFi transition, just like myself, we're the ones that crush it in this business. But if you just don't want to deal with a lot of the little stuff, but you'd rather know, you want to allocate to crypto, but you just aren't a money manager, you don't want to manage it, and you don't want to take crazy risk, but you'd like to outperform Bitcoin potentially, read this article from Chris Sullivan. If you'd like his vibe, I'm going to put his email personally, his personal email. It's the Hyperion Decimus email, but it goes right to him. He's the partner. There's 5 partners there. So he's the one that I'm basically introducing you to. If you want more information on their fund, the returns they've had in a Libertas fund, you're looking at, I'm saying this without having confirmed it with Chris. I actually talked to him earlier today, but I think, their minimum is usually, they would put it out there as about $500,000. I know that they will take 200 grand from my people. If you put in $200,000, that would be the minimum. The problem with these situations, when you get real smart money, real professionals that run money, and start to outperform, and then they're very close to tipping the 100 million AUM level, and then they do that, and they get some money from the Saudi royal family and this and that, and it's 300 million. They either close the fund off, or they're not taking any money unless you're writing at least a 7-figure check, right? But what happens is, if you become a limited partner and you can do it for a couple 100,000, maybe a little less if you're the right person. I think they're smart. They, just like with me, if I were able to run money, I want people that are going to add during down markets, have a longer term time horizon, understand the volatility and the nature of the game. But they're a very good source of information for me, because it's institutional quality research. It's part of, like next week, we've got the Kraken Prime meetup in New York City. There's another one right before that. These are invite only type of events with some of the biggest vendors in the world, biggest investors that they're going after in the world. And you've got to be on top of your game. Chris invited me out. I might join him for a couple days in New York City. If you're going to be there, by the way, feel free to hit me up, hit me back, and maybe we can link up for a few minutes. I'm not taking, what I do here, guys, is I invest my own money into the ideas that I give to you or to my premium members. It's more active. There's many more ideas, and you're going to get regular updates here. I'm going to start showing my face a bit more as we go into the timeline when I do believe the next alt season is going to start. And I'm going to walk you through when that does, when to outs. Because right now you still have to pace yourself with what you buy. You still want dry powder if this bear market, continues into, say, the fall. I don't think that's going to be the case. There's probably going to be a resurgence here in the altcoins and some of the flows in Bitcoin, certainly during the summer. That's my sense. But if it ends up being that we need to endure another several months or whatever it is of a bad altcoin market, I mean, if you're still here, you're still here. You might as well take advantage of this. This stuff isn't going away, guys. So you might as well stick through some of these bets you were so excited about when you first got into them before the deflation in valuations. But if you're a larger accredited individual or investor, that just means that you're worth at least $1 million without your house. You can talk to Chris Sullivan and put some money into the Libertas fund. It's just a high level access introduction that I'm giving you. If you're one of the richest people in the world, this is like special stuff that they would allocate to. That's who they have in their fund, so you could be someone that does that as well and get the basically information right from the partner, Chris Sullivan. So that's it